Well, Sarah, it appears at this point that the Supreme Court is effectively punting on the constitutionality question of Proposition 8 banning gay marriage in the state of California. 5-4 decision, and again, this ruling doesn't necessarily, it may allow gay marriage to proceed in California. It may have more to do with the standing of those who were challenging effectively the court in this case and those who were backing the ban on gay marriage. It has more to do, it looks like, with the question of standing. I want to read through the decision more carefully, but the bottom line here is that the central question of the constitutionality of gay marriage, the ban on gay marriage in California, is not addressed in this decision. That means it is not addressed on a national basis as well. So I want to get into this decision more specifically. We got a hint that this was to come actually in the dissent offered up by Justice Roberts in the earlier case on the Defense of Marriage Act. He says, let me read from that. This was right at the end of his dissent, the last paragraph here. We may in the future have to resolve challenges to state marriage definitions affecting same-sex couples. That issue, however, is not before us in this case, again referring to DOMA, and we hold today that we lack jurisdiction to consider it in the particular context of Hollingsworth versus Perry. That is the Proposition 8 case in California. Want to get the decision here and read through it more carefully, but again, they may go ahead. This may allow for gay marriage to proceed in California, and again, that is the bottom line for folks in California. This is not done. Eric.
Peter, as I understand it, it would allow gay marriage to proceed in California because an appeals court in the state has already ruled on the constitutionality or lack thereof of Proposition 8. And so in the state of California, that's the way it appears to be shaking out, right?
Yes, and also the fact, of course, that California, the state of California, was not seeking to have the ban reimposed in California. So that is the backdrop to all this. We want to read more closely in the decision. Again, 5-4 suggests the split on the court once again. Be interesting to see if there was any change in positions there. Was it again Justice Kennedy who was the swing vote in this case? But it looks like, again, it's headed back to California to some extent, and that those seeking to reimpose the ban in California may have lacked standing in this case. It may be a jurisdictional question as much as anything else. So, again, want to read through the decision more carefully, but these two big decisions, at least on the surface, a victory for those in support of gay marriage, certainly with regard to the DOMA case, and a partial victory for those in support of gay marriage with this second California case.
And to that point, Peter, there was widespread expectation heading into these decisions that the Supreme Court would invalidate or rule illegal DOMA, but might also allow Proposition 8 to stand because it was passed by voters in a legislative initiative, you know, very much the voice of the people. So it appears as though even though the court didn't extend the constitutionality of gay marriage nationwide, it is an unexpected victory of sorts for you know, the gay rights movement, as you were explaining. Is that one way we should look at it?
Well, I don't know about unexpected victory, Eric. Certainly a lot of the legal experts we've been talking to here in D.C. We're waiting to see exactly how the court would come out. How would Justice Kennedy in particular come out on some of these questions? I think there was an expectations game going into both of these, that this court could go any particular direction. There's a reason they waited to make these decisions, the very last ones. These were clearly difficult decisions for the Supreme Court, a divided Supreme Court. So this may be, again, for supporters of gay marriage, something that they expected to get from a Supreme Court, at least 5 of these justices, but it is not the full, broad, sweeping victory that perhaps those advocates for gay marriage had hoped for. There is no national standard here, no national ruling with regard to the ban on gay marriage in certain states. It will be allowed to proceed, that ban, in states across the country other than California. So, Eric, you know, we'll have to wait to see what the supporters on either side have to say about the depth and breadth of these decisions, but clearly advocates for gay marriage should be pleased by these decisions. Full victory in DOMA, it appears, partial victory in the California case.